Hello, kia ora, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks very much for joining us for our weather update across New Zealand and Australia. And we're tracking some big rainmakers in both nations. We kick off with the animated wind map. We've got high pressure out here in the Tasman, a large high, and another one down here south of Australia. However, this one's pulling down subtropical air into parts of New Zealand, and that's going to encourage a little bit of rain. As you notice, there's a southwesterly change south of it. And over in Australia, low pressure in this zone and a convergence zone up here where you've got two winds meeting, and that's creating for plenty of thunderstorms and downpours through inland parts of New South Wales and Queensland. So we've got some rain on the way for New Zealand in the next 24 hours. Most of it is on the west coast, but there's a weak southerly coming up the South Island on Thursday, and that's why you're seeing Southland, Otago and some parts of Canterbury also getting a little bit of wet weather, not a huge amount, and your temperatures will drop a couple of degrees to maybe 4 or 5 degrees, depending on where you are along that eastern sides. Wellington also has that southerly change arriving tomorrow, and we've got a few showers just moving into that western side of the North Island ahead of that southerly change. Over in Australia, there's also rain falling, and this area here getting up around 50 millimetres, so some decent downpours, and then another 30 millimetres or so as we go through tomorrow. This is for the 24 hours from 6 a.m. on Wednesday. So this is how we look for Thursday. There is that cold front we were just telling you about that moves up the country. So by lunchtime, it's into the North Island already, and Wellington, you get that change, that temperature drop and a few showers coming through. The bulk of the rain, though, ahead of that southerly as the westerlies blow. So places like Taranaki, perhaps a bit more exposed to the rain. And as it moves northwards, it crumbles as it moves into that very high area of pressure, 1029, 1030 hectopascals. So that front won't do much as it goes further up the country. It's like a human being trying to run through a swimming pool. It just gives up. It's too hard, too much resistance. And the low over here encouraging northerlies down into it. That's why there's a fair bit of moisture coming through. So all the way from Melbourne to Sydney to Brisbane, you've got wet weather and thunderstorms in that area. Good news for inland regions. On Friday, the low moves a little bit further out to sea, but you can see there are still downpours all the way along that eastern side of Australia and curving around over Hobart and into Adelaide. And then there's another system out here coming into Perth with westerlies and a cold front. New Zealand, though, settles down on Friday. High pressure kicks off October 1st, so it's mostly settled, although a bit of a southwest wind through Auckland and a couple of showers lingering around the western side. Otherwise, not too bad. As we go into the weekend, the high is in control of New Zealand's weather, so pretty settled. But here's the subtropical airflow. Now, it's coming down and sort of drops into the Southern Ocean area. It fans out towards Tasmania, and a little bit of it fans out towards the lower South Island. So that means on Saturday, temperatures are going to lift up a wee bit around New Zealand. And on Sunday, they'll do it even more because there's even more of a northerly flow coming in as the high starts to move away and the low here starts to deepen a little bit out at sea. So next week kicks off with low pressure connecting New Zealand and Australia, but this is pretty mild weather around New Zealand with a northeasterly flow coming down. Northeasterlies aren't warm for everybody, but it'll be mild for this time of the year, and you'll notice it at night time. That's when you'll really notice that lift in temperatures. A period of rain, most of it around Bay of Plenty and East Cape. Some rain coming down into the South Island as well. A lot of low pressure over here encourages more wet weather for Melbourne. In fact, Melbourne, Victoria, coastal parts of Victoria, you got about 10 days worth of showers coming through for you. Welcome to spring. Tuesday's forecast. Okay, so the low is big, but big doesn't mean stormy. So while the air pressure is down and it'll be a bit rough around Hobart and Melbourne, strong winds, maybe gale force at times, all the way up to about Sydney. But on the New Zealand side, not too bad. Couple of showers, long dry spells, and the winds aren't looking too bad either. So that's the forecast through until Tuesday next week. Very typical for spring, that's for sure. So we'll be seeing more of this changeable weather as we head into October. That's all from me. We'll also have our global weather video update out today, the top 10 weather extremes around planet Earth for Wednesday, and Australia features today with the thunderstorms and low pressure. That's all from me. We'll see you again on Thursday with our next update.